Imagine two people who start their day at the same time. One wakes up, checks the phone, scrolls, promises that tomorrow will be different, and then moves on with the same routine. The other wakes up, ties their shoelaces, steps outside, and runs. No applause, no motivational video, no cheering crowd, just them and their discipline. This book, The Power of Discipline, is about understanding that the real difference between these two people is not talent, not luck, not intelligence. It is something far simpler, but far more powerful: self-discipline. We all feel motivated at times. Motivation feels exciting. It pushes us like a strong wave. But motivation is temporary. It fades when we feel tired, stressed, sad, or bored. And this is where most people stop. But disciplined people do not stop. They do not wait for the perfect mood. They do not negotiate with laziness. They act because they decide to act. This book teaches us that self-discipline is not a personality trait. It is a skill, something you build, something you strengthen day by day like a muscle. You will learn why depending on motivation sets you up for failure, how to train your mind to follow through even when you don't feel like it, how habits quietly shape your identity, how to stay consistent with your goals, how delayed gratification leads to long-term success, how discipline affects your money, your relationships, your health, and your entire life outcome. Self-discipline is silent. No one sees your early mornings. No one sees the hours you spend learning. No one sees the sacrifices, but everyone sees the results. This journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming a little better than yesterday, step by step, choice by choice. And that journey begins now. Chapter 1: The Myth of Motivation. People often believe that the key to success is motivation. We watch a motivational video, hear an inspiring speech, or read a powerful quote, and suddenly feel unstoppable. In that moment, we believe we can change our habits, our body, our career, our entire life. But then, morning comes. The energy fades. The excitement cools down. Real life steps back in with stress, distractions, and tiredness, and we return to the same routines. This is where the myth begins. Motivation is not the fuel of success. Motivation is only a spark. Let us imagine two friends, Rahul and Arjun. Both decide to get fit. Both feel excited. Both plan new routines. Both promise themselves, "This time I will change." On day 1, both wake up early. On day 2, both continue with the same enthusiasm. On day 5, Rahul feels tired. Arjun too. Here is where their paths split. Rahul says, "I'm not feeling motivated today. I will skip just this one day." That one day becomes 2. 2 become 5. Soon, Rahul is back to old habits. Arjun is also tired. His body also aches. His mind also wants rest. But he says, "I did not wake up today to feel good. I woke up to follow my decision." He trains anyway. After 1 week, they both look the same. After 1 month, Arjun is improving. After a year, Arjun is unrecognizable. What changed? Not motivation. Discipline. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is logical. Motivation depends on mood. Discipline depends on decision. Motivation says, "I feel like doing it." Discipline says, "I will do it even when I do not feel like doing it. This is the truth most people do not want to hear. You will not always feel motivated. You will not always be excited. You will not always have energy. But discipline is not about how you feel. Discipline is about who you are choosing to become. The brain always chooses comfort. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels easy. Comfort feels nice. But comfort does not build greatness. Comfort does not create success. Comfort does not build strong character. Every time we choose comfort over effort, we choose our old life. So the first lesson of discipline is to let go of the belief that motivation is necessary. It is useful, yes. It can help you start, but it cannot help you stay. Success belongs to the one who keeps going when the excitement is gone. Ask yourself, can you steady even when your mind tries to escape? Can you wake up early even when your bed begs you to stay? Can you work on your goals even when your energy is low? Can you stay focused when distractions pull your attention? If the answer is yes, you are no longer depending on motivation. You are training your discipline. And discipline is where transformation begins. The one who wins is not the strongest, not the fastest, not the most talented. The one who wins is the one who continues. This is the power of discipline. Chapter 2: The Science Behind Self-Discipline. Self-discipline is not magic. It is not a gift given to a lucky few. It is a skill built inside the brain through repetition and identity. Your brain has two parts that affect your decisions. The primitive brain, this part wants comfort, pleasure, and ease. It loves soft beds, sugary snacks, scrolling, and instant entertainment. The higher brain, this part thinks about the future. It wants growth, health, success, and long-term rewards. Self-discipline is the ability to let the higher brain guide your actions instead of the primitive brain. But here is the challenge. The primitive brain reacts faster than the higher brain. For example, you plan to study for 2 hours. As soon as you open the book, your primitive brain whispers, "Let's just check Instagram for 2 minutes." You open the phone. 30 minutes disappear. This is not weakness. This is brain wiring. So how do we fix it? Step 1. Reduce friction. Make good habits easier and bad habits harder. If you want to exercise, keep your workout clothes ready the night before. If you want to read, keep your book on your pillow so you read before sleeping. If you want to stop scrolling, keep your phone in another room when working. Your brain loves easy paths, so make the path to success easier. Step 2. Identity shift. Don't say, "I am trying to be disciplined." Say, "I am a disciplined person." When your identity changes, your actions follow. A smoker who says, "I am trying to quit," is still seeing themselves as a smoker. But a person who says, "I don't smoke," has already changed identity. Identity shapes behavior. Step 3. Small consistency. Your mind can't handle big changes at once. Start small. 5 minutes of exercise instead of 1 hour. 1 page of reading instead of 20. 10 minutes of study instead of 3 hours. When small actions repeat, they form habits. When habits repeat, they form identity. When identity changes, life transforms. This is discipline. Not force, not pressure, just small, repeated choices. Remember, discipline is not about being perfect. It is about never stopping. If you want, I will now continue with
Chapter 3. Developing a Growth Mindset. There are two kinds of people in the world. Those who believe their abilities are fixed, and those who believe they can grow. The first group says, I am just not good at math. I can't speak confidently. I am not disciplined. They believe that skills are something you are born with. Either you have them or you do not. But the second group says, I can improve if I practice. I can become confident if I try. I can build discipline step by step. These people have what psychologists call a growth mindset. A growth mindset is not about believing everything is easy. It is about believing that effort changes results. Let's use a simple story to understand this. Once, there were two students, Maya and Adi. Both wanted to learn the guitar. Maya tried for a week, but her fingers hurt. The chords sounded messy. She said, I'm not talented. I can't do this. She gave up. Adi also struggled. His fingers hurt. The sound was messy. But he said, everyone is bad at the beginning. He practiced a little bit every day. A few weeks passed. A few months passed. Soon Adi could play full songs. Maya could not play anything. Was Maya less intelligent? No. She simply believed she couldn't improve. This is the difference a growth mindset makes. When you believe you can improve, you develop patience. You begin to focus on progress, not perfection. Every mistake becomes a lesson instead of a failure. A fixed mindset says, if I fail, I'm not good. A growth mindset says, if I fail, I learn. Notice the shift. One closes the door. The other opens hundreds of doors. This matters deeply for self-discipline. Because discipline is not about being perfect every day. It is about not quitting when it gets difficult. Most people quit because they believe difficulty means they are not meant for it. But difficulty is simply evidence that growth is happening. The gym is not supposed to feel comfortable. Studying is not always enjoyable. Waking up early is not always easy. Growth requires discomfort, and discomfort is where discipline is born. So how do we build a growth mindset? 1. Replace I can't with I can't yet. That single word, yet, changes everything. It opens the possibility of progress. 2. Celebrate small improvements. Even if you go from 0% effort to 10%, that's progress. Consistency is more important than speed. 3. Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. If everyone around you complains, avoids effort, and makes excuses, your mind will learn the same. But if you are around people who try, learn, and push forward, you will rise with them. 4. Fail forward. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the path to success. Every person who achieved anything meaningful failed many times. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, writers, scientists, they all stumbled, they all struggled, but they didn't stop. The growth mindset turns challenge into a stepping stone rather than a wall. Your life changes when you shift from asking, "Am I good enough?" to asking, "How can I get better?" The moment you adopt this mindset, discipline becomes easier. You stop expecting instant results. You start appreciating the journey. Small steps suddenly matter. Progress becomes satisfying. And the person you become along the way becomes more important than the achievements themselves. This is the mindset that shapes champions. This is the mindset that builds discipline. And this is the mindset that builds your future.
Chapter 5. How to Stay Consistent. Everyone starts with excitement, but only a few continue long enough to see results. Consistency is not about doing something perfectly every day. Consistency is about showing up, even on the days when your energy is low, your mood is down, or life feels heavy. Think of consistency like watering a seed. If you water it once a week randomly, the plant never grows. If you water it a little every day, growth becomes inevitable. Success does not come from intensity. Success comes from repetition. Let's understand this through a simple story. There were two artists. Both wanted to become masters of painting. The first artist said, "I will paint only when I feel inspired." So he waited for the perfect mood, the perfect idea, the perfect atmosphere. Some weeks he painted every day. Other weeks he painted nothing. The second artist said, "I will paint for 1 hour daily." Some days he painted great work. Some days he painted terribly. But he painted every day. After 1 year, the second artist had improved more than he could ever imagine. The first artist still relied on inspiration. The difference was not talent or passion. It was consistency. So how do you stay consistent? 1. Lower the entry barrier. Do not make your habit difficult to begin. If your goal is to read daily, do not start with 30 pages. Start with 1 page. If your goal is to exercise, start with 5 minutes. If your goal is to study, start with 10 focused minutes. Once you start, you almost always continue longer. But starting must be easy. 2. Focus on the process, not the results. Results take time. They may come slowly, but the process is in your control. You cannot control whether you lose 5 kilograms this month, but you can control whether you show up at the gym daily. You cannot control whether you master a subject in 1 week, but you can control whether you study consistently. Consistency is a slow victory, but it is a victory that lasts. 3. Track your streaks. The brain loves visual proof. Use a calendar, a notebook, a habit tracker app. Every time you complete a habit, mark it. This creates a chain of success. Your new goal becomes, don't break the chain. 4. Allow bad days, but don't quit. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will be distracted. Some days you will slip. This is normal. The rule is, you can go slow, just don't stop. If you miss 1 day, return the next day. No guilt, no emotional drama, just restart. Consistency is built through return, not perfection. Consistency means you don't rush, you don't quit, you trust the process. And if you stay consistent long enough, results become unavoidable. Chapter 6. Overcoming Procrastination. Procrastination is the silent thief of dreams. It doesn't shout, it whispers. I'll do it later. Not right now. Maybe tomorrow. And tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month, and suddenly a year has passed and nothing has changed. But why do we procrastinate? The reason is simpler than you think. Your brain wants to avoid discomfort. Studying requires mental effort. Working out requires physical effort. Starting a new project requires emotional effort. To avoid this discomfort, the brain offers a short-term escape. Let's watch a quick video. Let's check social media. Let's rest a bit more. Let's think about it first. These escapes feel good in the moment, but they create long-term regret. So how do we stop procrastinating? 1. Break tasks into tiny steps. The biggest cause of procrastination is feeling overwhelmed. If the task feels too large, your brain runs away. So make the task so small that your brain cannot refuse. Instead of, I will study chapter 1, say, I will study for 10 minutes. Instead of, I will clean my entire room, say, I will clean just the desk. Small steps defeat procrastination. 2. Use the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself, I will do it for just 5 minutes. Once you start, your brain stops resisting. 5 minutes often becomes 15. 15 becomes 30. Starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, momentum takes over. 3. Remove distractions from the environment. Procrastination grows in a distracting environment. Put your phone in another room. Use website blockers. Study in a clean space. Work with headphones. When distractions are far, focus becomes natural. 4. Understand your why. If your goal does not emotionally matter to you, your brain will not fight for it. Ask yourself, why is this important to me? Who will I become if I stay consistent? What will my life look like in 6 months if I don't do this? Procrastination dies when purpose becomes clear. 5. Reward progress. The brain repeats behaviors that feel rewarding, so celebrate small wins, finishing a page, completing a workout, showing up when you didn't feel like it. Progress equals motivation. Procrastination is not lack of ability. It is simply resistance to discomfort. But discomfort is where growth begins. When you stop running from discomfort, you stop running from your future.
Chapter 7. Delayed Gratification. Success is rarely instant. It grows slowly, like a tree. But we live in a world that encourages immediate pleasure and quick results. One click, one tap, one swipe. Everything is fast. So when something requires patience, commitment, and time, the mind resists. This resistance is where the principle of delayed gratification becomes your ultimate strength. Delayed gratification means choosing a greater reward later instead of a smaller reward now. Let's understand this through a well-known study. In the 1960s, a group of children were offered a marshmallow. They were told, you can eat the marshmallow now, or if you wait for 15 minutes, you will get 2 marshmallows. Some children ate the marshmallow immediately, but some waited. Years later, researchers followed these children. The ones who waited grew up to have better careers, stronger health, happier relationships, higher financial stability. The difference was not intelligence, it was self-control, the ability to wait for a bigger reward. Now think about your life. Every day you face the same choice. Scroll social media now, or build skills that make your future powerful? Eat junk food now, or build a healthier body that supports your success? Sleep late now, or wake up early and take control of your morning? These choices look small, but they shape your destiny. The truth is, short-term pleasure is easy. Anyone can do what feels good in the moment. But long-term success requires strength. It requires patience. It requires emotional maturity. This is why so few people achieve excellence. They cannot delay gratification. But here is the important part. Delayed gratification is not about denying yourself happiness. It is about choosing a deeper, stronger, more meaningful happiness. Not the happiness of now, the happiness of becoming someone you are proud of. So how do you build this skill? 1. Create distance from temptation. If the marshmallow is not in front of you, you will not eat it. Keep phone away during study. Keep healthy snacks visible instead of junk. Uninstall apps that drain your focus. Your environment shapes your choices more than your willpower. 2. Use the 10-minute delay rule. When you crave something distracting, say, "I will wait 10 minutes." Most cravings vanish if you give them time. 3. Visualize your future self. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 6 months from now, stronger, smarter, more confident, more in control. Every time you delay gratification, you are feeding this version of yourself. 4. Reward the process, not just the result. Celebrate finishing the workout, not just reaching the weight goal. Celebrate studying today, not just scoring high later. This keeps your journey enjoyable. Every great achievement requires waiting. Every strong person has learned patience. Every winner has mastered delayed gratification. The question is, are you choosing who you want to be right now or who you want to become? This is where discipline becomes strength. Chapter 8. Self-discipline in relationships. Self-discipline does not only shape your habits and career, it shapes how you treat people. It shapes your communication, your boundaries, and your emotional maturity. Most relationship problems come from emotional reactions. Anger bursts, jealousy, blame, insecurity, overthinking. These reactions usually come from the primitive brain, which responds quickly and emotionally. Self-discipline allows the higher brain to step in and respond calmly, patiently, thoughtfully. In relationships, discipline looks like listening instead of arguing, pausing instead of reacting, speaking with intention instead of impulse, respecting your partner's boundaries, giving space when needed, not allowing ego to control conversations. Think of two people in a disagreement. One person raises their voice, the other raises theirs louder. The argument grows. Both want to win. But what is the result? Nobody wins. The relationship loses. Now imagine this. One person gets angry. The other stays calm and says, "I understand you're upset. Let's talk when we both feel clear." This requires strength. This is relationship discipline. Love is not enough. Every relationship needs maturity. Discipline in relationships means control your words. Words can heal, words can destroy. Speak carefully. Give space. Love is not possession. Let the other person grow and evolve. Don't react to every emotion. Feelings are temporary. Your actions create permanent impact. Stay truthful. Lies destroy trust like fire destroys wood. Trust is the foundation of love. Choose understanding over ego. When ego rises, love falls. A short story. A couple was once asked, "What is the secret to your 50 years of marriage?" The wife smiled and said, "We learned to pause when we were angry and to speak when we were calm." This is discipline. Not passion, not luck. Discipline. Relationships thrive not because they are perfect, but because the people inside them choose to show up with patience, respect, and understanding. Self-discipline in relationships is the ability to protect peace, communicate honestly, love without control, support
without smothering. Understand instead of judge. And when you master this, your relationships become stronger, healthier, calmer, deeper, more meaningful. Because love is not a feeling you wait for. Love is a choice you practice every day.
Chapter 9. Self-discipline with money. Money does not only test your intelligence, it tests your self-control. You may earn well, but if you spend without awareness, money disappears like sand slipping through your fingers. Money discipline is not about being rich first. It is about learning how to handle whatever you have now. Financial success is built through delayed gratification, long-term thinking, awareness of habits, emotional control. Most people spend money to feel good now. Ordering food when bored, buying clothes to impress others, upgrading phones just to follow trends, spending weekends in expensive outings. The problem is not the purchase. The problem is the intention behind it. If money is used to fill emotional emptiness, it never stays. Let's look at a simple story. Two friends, Samir and Ravi, both earn the same monthly salary. Samir spends emotionally. Whenever he feels sad, he orders food. Whenever he feels stressed, he shops online. Whenever he feels bored, he goes out. Ravi spends consciously. He plans his expenses. He saves before he spends. He invests a percentage every month. 5 years later, Samir has memories, but also debt. Ravi has memories and financial stability. The difference? Self-discipline with money. So how do you build this discipline? 1. Pay yourself first. Before spending on anything, save at least 10 to 20% of your income. Keep it aside automatically. If you try to save after spending, nothing remains. If you save before spending, you always grow. This is the first rule of wealth. 2. Know the difference between want and need. You don't need everything you desire. A need supports your life. A want supports your emotions. Before buying anything, ask, will this matter 30 days from now? If the answer is no, don't buy it. 3. Track every rupee. Money disappears quietly. Write down where your money goes, how often you spend on impulse, which habits cost you the most. Awareness is power. 4. Invest early, even small. Investing is not about big money. It is about time plus consistency. Even a small amount, invested monthly, grows. Money grows slowly at first, then suddenly, but only for the patient. 5. Build income, not just lifestyle. People raise their lifestyle as soon as income rises. This is how richness looks without wealth. Real wealth comes from skills, investments, multiple income streams, smart spending. Avoid comparison. Comparison traps you into buying things to impress people who don't care. If you live to look rich, you will stay broke. If you live to grow rich,
you will stay free. Financial discipline is emotional discipline. Money stays with those who respect it, manage it, and use it intentionally. Your future is shaped by every rupee you save, spend, or invest today. Choose wisely. Chapter 10. Designing a self-disciplined life. Discipline is not something you practice in one area. It becomes a lifestyle, a way of living that shapes everything. A self-disciplined life is not about being strict, rigid, or joyless. It is about living with purpose, clarity, direction, self-respect. Life becomes peaceful when your actions align with your values. To design a disciplined life, imagine you are building a house. Your mindset is the foundation. Your habits are the bricks. Your consistency is the cement. Your goals are the blueprint. Your environment is the land. Your identity is the name on the door. Let's break this down. 1. Create clear goals. If you don't know where you are going, your mind has no reason to stay disciplined. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What does my best version look like? What do I want my life to feel like? Right answers. Clarity strengthens discipline. 2. Build routines. A routine removes decision fatigue. When your day has structure, you do not have to force yourself. You do not negotiate with laziness. You simply follow the pattern. Morning and night routines are powerful starting points. 3. Choose your environment. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower. If your room is messy, your mind becomes messy. If your circle complains, you lose ambition. If your phone is full of distractions, your focus dies. Make your surroundings support your goals, not fight them. 4. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. You become who you are around. If you surround yourself with complainers, you complain. Gossipers, you gossip. Lazy people, you slow down. But if you surround yourself with learners, builders, dreamers, disciplined people, you rise without even noticing. 5. Practice self-respect. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. When you wake up early, when you choose health, when you choose learning, when you choose patience, when you choose focus, you are telling yourself, I deserve a better life. This is the heart of discipline. 6. Return even after you fall. You will have weak moments. You will have lazy days. You will make mistakes. This does not mean you failed. Discipline means fall 7 times, stand up 8. The return is what matters, not the fall. A self-disciplined life is a life of freedom. Freedom from being controlled by impulses, being controlled by mood, being controlled by distractions. With discipline, you take the steering wheel of your life. And once you take control, your future becomes limitless.
You started this journey with one question. how can I become the best version of myself? And throughout this summary, you discovered something important. You don't need perfect motivation. You don't need to be naturally talented. You don't need to change everything in one day. You just need to show up. A little. Every day. Discipline is not about being strict. It is about loving yourself enough to choose what's good for your future over what feels good right now. Your habits are shaping you. Your choices are directing you. Your consistency is building you. Every time you wake up and push forward, even a little, you are rewriting your story. You are breaking old patterns. You are creating the life you once only imagined. And remember, the change is slow at first, quiet, invisible. But then one day, the world notices because you changed. You became stronger, calmer, focused, disciplined. And at that moment, you won. Not over anyone else, but over the old version of yourself. That is real success. If this message connected with you, if you feel that small fire inside your chest right now, don't let it fade. Start today. Start small. Start now. Choose one habit. Commit to it daily. Track your progress. Your future self is waiting, and they are proud of you. Keep going. Your journey has only just begun.